Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my The Last of Us Part 2 Grounded Difficulty walkthrough, and this is episode 8, in which I will be covering the second half of Abby's first day in Seattle. And here at the beginning you saw me running quite a bit. That's because we want to get up to a position behind this little Asian lamppost or whatever it is, before those Seraphites get down there. So we can just sneak past them, behind them. And this half, the second half of Abby's first day, is what I would say the most challenging part of Abby's journey. It's not super hard. If you manage to beat The Last of Us 1 on grounded difficulty, you shouldn't have any problems going through this. And if you have gotten this far, you have gotten past Eastbrook Elementary High School, or Eastbrook Elementary School is probably a more correct term, then you will be able to beat this. Hands down, because that fight, as I said, is by far the absolute worst fight in the entire game. I hate that encounter, because it's so RNG based. And there is an encounter in this chapter as well, which I will be covering in, or which we'll go through in this video. That is a close second. Not gonna lie, there is a fight here that I am not a fan of. It can basically go and just fornicate with itself. To speak a bit properly. I try not to curse too much in my videos. But either way, having gotten through the first section, I just trimmed out the middle part where there are no enemies, and I did some looting. When you get down here, immediately start crouching. There are some enemies coming in from the right, but if you keep your pace up, they will not spot you. They will be completely oblivious to your presence. And now all we have to do is get past these two guys. And one of them is a brute, the guy that we will see just about now. You can see he has a big sledgehammer. But fortunately for us, you don't have to fight him. We're just gonna wait for him to start pathing away, and we can head for the exit. And slide down here and we're through. And sadly, we get attacked down here. Which isn't very pleasant, but it allows Abby to meet two new friends, two allies called Yara and Lev. And here Abby puts up a good fight, but against 3 people, or even 4. There's the brute lady, these 2 skinheads, and this one in the hoodie and a hammer. You can't do very much. And this is the fight I was talking about. When you get control of Abby again, you will be with Yara and Lev in this really dark forest and being attacked by stalkers. And in which pattern they attack you is completely random. And it seems the number of stalkers showing up is also random. So that's why I say I hate this fight. You do have a hammer, which will make it a little bit easier at least. And when you know you will have reached the end when she breaks the hammer against the last one. And now we are gonna run and stay close to Yara and Lev. Yara is the one holding the torch. And we will come into our next encounter, where we thankfully only have to face off against 3 more stalkers. But stay in the light, because I think if you fall too far behind, it will be an instant kill state. And in this area there are some bricks you can pick up, or a bottle even. And there is also a checkpoint here, like you saw there. There was a little transition. And stalkers, if you throw a bottle in their face and immediately go in for a melee hit, you instantly kill them, which is very kind of them. Goes for all the infected in this game. And you only have to kill 2 of them. Lev will use his trusty bow and take out the 3rd one. There is a 3rd brick you can find here, and I would suggest you pick that up before we move into the next fight. And here also, don't linger. You have to start moving before Yara leaves with the torch, or else you will be instantly killed. And trust me on this. You saw a transition, that's because it happened to me. And now all we have to do is follow them and run from. We have a lot of stalkers on our tail, but this is completely scripted. As long as you stay in the torchlight, they will not be able to catch up. And in here, I think you're also given a medkit, so you can heal up any damage you may have taken. But I think actually that your health resets, but I'm not entirely sure. And then we go into a mini-boss fight against this brute woman. And this is also one of those fights. I tried a bunch of different strategies. She can do either a single swing, she can do a double swing, or she can do a triple swing. And she can also do like that and try and grab you. I am shit at reading her swings, how many times she's gonna swing at you. But what I like to do is just dodge 1 time extra, because if you're quick to go in for a swing, even if you have dodged like 3 times and she does a double swing, you will have a window of opportunity to go up and hit her. And after that fight, you will come up to this part where there are some runners coming in. I recommend just stay back until they start attacking Yara and Lev, and then start legging it. Being a great friend to our new acquaintances. Prepare a brick if you end up in a shitty situation, so you can throw it in the face of these 2. And as soon as you jump over this little gap right here, you're safe. And over here there is also steel pipe. Make sure to pick that up. That is very important. Because when you get down here, in here there are 3 infecteds. After you kill all 3 of them, make sure to stealth kill them. Do exactly what I do. This area is clear until you help Yara and Lev escape from this area. Then you will go into quite a big fight. So when the prompt comes that they want you to help them get out through the hole over the door, before you go up and help them, make sure to loot through this entire building, create 4 grenades, and also use scissors and tape to attach a shiv to your steel pipe. And also, don't break these 2 windows. You saw one over to the right. In this room over to the left, in this room, my bad. That window. Do not break those. That is also very important, and you will see later on here why.
Now what?
And this place is quite packed. There is some ammo, there are some explosives and good stuff to pick up, and hopefully you have looted along the way so you can make... I think I even show which preparations I make before we go into the encounter that will ensue. And I made 4 grenades and I upgrade my melee weapon, because when you upgrade it with a shiv, every swing will be an instant kill. And make sure to reload your weapons. And after you have helped them through, run into this room and prepare your steel pipe. Because there's one runner over here, so we just smack her in the face, instantly kill her. Prepare for this guy coming through the wall. Run out here. You get 5 melee kills when you upgrade your steel pipe. And there is number 3. Here comes number 4, so we kill him, and this is the 5th one. After that, you will have 2 clickers coming in. So prepare your grenades. Throw a grenade at the first one. Hopefully kill him. Throw a grenade at the second one. If the first one does survive, hopefully the blast will kill him. And now you have also reached the checkpoint. And we're gonna run into this room. So you have the glass window over to your right and prepare your rifle. Because now that window over to my right will act as a shield, so no enemies can break windows. So no one, or no infecteds at least, can break windows. So that will act as a wall, so no one can flank you. And this, I really like this fight actually. Because this is the corner of power. We have taken out one clicker and one runner. This clicker will come for the wall. Just let him come close, shoot him once in the face with the rifle, and go up and melee kill him, so we conserve our ammo. And here comes a runner. Take her out, and here comes another clicker, which is the last enemy in that wave. Now go up and break this window and prepare your grenades. Shambler comes in, throw 2 grenades, that will kill him. And switch out your assault rifle for the shotgun. This is a personal preference, because now there was 2 runners and 1 shambler left. And the only thing you have to do here at the end is you have to kill one of the shamblers and hurt the other one and kill the 2 runners. And since this is the end of the fight, I decided to switch over to the shotgun because I was getting nervous. And I like to use the hunting pistol on that shambler. If you manage to shoot him twice in the head, I think you will kill him. But when you have hurt him enough, you will get an icon coming up by that ambulance over to the left. That lev will come and help you out. So all you have to do now, there we have the icon. As soon as you see that, head for the ambulance and get the fuck out of there. Because you see a lot of more enemies show up. And that is not counting the stalkers just after you have gotten hit in the face by a hammer. That is one of the hardest fights you will encounter on Abby's journey through Seattle. But if you follow this walkthrough, use the same strategies I did, you shouldn't have any problems. Your aiming does have to be somewhat good, but you saw clickers aren't super fast. Also, here is the secondary holster. So we get a lot of stuff for Abby during her first day.
Alright.
But you saw, like I did with the clickers, I let them come close because clickers are very linear in their movement when they are aggroed. So let them come close, maybe a little too close for comfort, but then just shoot them in the face once and go up, melee kill them, and you shouldn't have, hopefully not too much problems. I believe in you, you can get through that. And as you saw also, there are like 2 checkpoints in that fight, which is very lenient for being a bonus difficulty. And when you get out here, there are a few infected showing up, and we are just gonna run past them. There is no reason to engage in this fight. So just dodge the clicker, dodge that runner, and head for this debris and climb up. And they can try their best to follow you, and they will fail miserably. And when you get up on this bridge, as soon as we jump over this gap, you will fall into the water, but that ends that encounter. And now we have gotten up to a ferry, and when you get in here, you immediately get the crossbow, which is Abby's version instead of the bow. And Arrow, she gets a crossbow, and I actually like the crossbow a lot better than I like the bow and arrow. A little bit because it's faster to load, and when you are when you're loading it, or when you're aiming it is a more correct term, all you have to do is click R2 to fire the bolt, since it is already tightened, I guess it's called. But with Ellie, you have to hold down R2 to tension the string. And if you hold it down too long, I think it will start swaying, and I'm not quite sure if she fires the arrow or just loosens the string or drops the tension on it or whatever. And also when you are firing Ellie's bow, the tension of the string decides how much damage the arrow will do when it hits. So that is a factor that is made obsolete when you're using the crossbow, which is a really nice thing. And the fact that you're playing as Abby through almost half this game is... Since this is a big stealth section, I can talk a little bit about that, because this is pretty self-explanatory. Just follow the path that I do. That is something that really divided up the fans of this series. And if you have followed the debates on the internet, you will know that this game got a lot of criticism, a lot of hate. And to some extent I can understand, because when I first started playing as Abby, I thought it would be like a quick recap, like a short section. You would do a quick playthrough of day 1, maybe 2 and 3, just to get to the point or at the end of day 3. But then I learned that no, her journey is as long as Ellie's. And I'm fine with that. The only problem I had with that actually on my first playthrough, because since I was playing as Ellie and I was completely unaware that I would be playing as Abby, I had done a lot of upgrades with Ellie. Of course, that's what you do. It's your first playthrough and you want to make your character as good as possible. And getting all that taken away from you when I was like 15 hours into this game. I think it took me 30 hours first time I played through it. I got pissed. Not due to the fact that they switched perspective, because I thought that was kind of a cool thing story-wise, but just mechanically. And I thought that Abby was a lot lesser of a character at the beginning, until I learned how she worked. And I still think she is a little bit less good than Ellie, just because Ellie can stealth kill clickers with her shiv or with her switchblade. But overall, and story-wise, I actually enjoy playing Abby more than Ellie. She was a character that really started growing. And nobody wants to play as the antagonist. If you have followed the story, you know what has transpired between these two characters. I don't want to go into spoiler country. So I can understand why people aren't pleased. I was not pleased at the beginning either. But mostly due to the fact that I went from a very upgraded character to a character that had absolutely no upgrades. But also I think Abby's part of this journey is super fun. I think actually it's a bit more fun than Ellie's. There are some really cool encounters in this half of the game, just not that stalker fight in the woods, because that is atrocious. And Eastbrook Elementary with Ellie, it's a toss-up in between those two. I think Eastbrook Elementary is harder, but it's less frustrating because it's quicker. Because I was stuck on that first stalker fight by the car. I was stuck there for quite a while, since there is so much RNG concerning the stalkers coming in there, both in numbers and which side they would come from. Because first I thought it was like maybe a fixed spawn, and then I was like, yeah, I can just learn the spawns and run with it. But no, there is a dice roll, so be aware of that when you get to that part. But if you're watching this, hopefully you have followed the walkthrough and gotten up to this point as well. And then you are past, now you are definitely past the hardest parts of this game. Not saying that the rest of the game isn't challenging, because it is. This is, after all, a bonus difficulty, the absolute highest difficulty in the game. But we are past the hardest fights. And together, with my help, hopefully you won't have any problems going through the rest of it either. And now you can see I am being super cautious here. There is a clicker in the room to the right. And I was a bit unsure because as far as I could remember, there was a runner out there on the left side of this giant cabin. But I must have remembered wrong because there was no one there. And I go up and kill this runner. This is not mandatory. I did it just as a precaution because we are just by the exit. That door up there to the right, and there is a clicker over to my left, and there is a shambler over there, and I didn't want anything to risk going pear-shaped while I was so close to the exit of this area. But as soon as you get up here, all we need to do is force open this door and close it behind us, and we are done with Abby's first day. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.